I call the member for Hughes.
Well, Deputy Speaker, what a very disappointing speech we've just heard. Very disappointing. We've heard the former Treasurer of this nation rant into a sort of a disgraceful incitement of class warfare. There could be nothing more irresponsible than nothing more irresponsible than the billions of dollars of debt that you left this country. There's some young kids up there watching at the moment. I hope they understand that in years to come, when they understand why they are paying higher taxes, it's because of the debt when that man was Treasurer in this nation and ran up billions and billions of dollars of debt. We in this nation now have to pay $1 billion a month in interest because of the recklessness and the waste and the mismanagement of when that man that just spoke was Treasurer. And he talks about Keynesian facts. We should write that down. That's one we'll always remember. Keynesian facts. That simply says it all. And look at the wording of this motion. Talking about looking after the big end of town. Speaker, there is no one that looks after the big end of town more than the Labor Party. Because the way they govern is they govern with big unions, big business and big government all together, all three of them. And let's just look at a couple of examples, Deputy Speaker. Who can remember the Road Safety Remuneration Tribunal? Remember that one? Well, what they did was creation of from the glory years of the Gillard governments. The glory years. What they did, Deputy Speaker, let's just go through what Labor's Road Safety Remuneration Tribunal did when it talked about looking after the big end of town. What they did is force all small independent truck drivers to charge a higher rate for their service than for large big end of town, to drive the small guy out of business. And we, Deputy Speaker, when we tried to fix that, the Labor Party stood against it because they wanted to look after their mates in the big end of town at the expense of the small, hard-working truck drivers of this nation. What a disgrace that was. We'll always remember that. And then, of course, Deputy Speaker, another example, the grubby union deal that was done with Coles. Even the Fair Work Commission. The Fair Work Commission, stacked with Labor Party appointees, found that failed the better off overall test. It took a young guy working for Coles to take them on in the courts to show what a crooked and dodgy deal that was. And why was it? And look at a couple of other dodgy deals about how Labor look after their mates in the big end of town. Let's just take some of the dodgy deals they've done on Sunday penalty rates. Someone at KFC, Deputy Speaker. KFC, one of the largest big multinational corporations, well, they get to employ a staff on a Sunday for $21.19. But the small business that competes against them is forced to pay $29.
Order. The member for Hughes will resume his seat. There is a general warning in this House. I've let the discussion flow. It has got out of hand. Everyone is warned. I call the member for Hughes.
Speaker. I was going through some of the dodgy deals where the Labor Party and their union mates have looked after the big end of town at the expense of small business and the expense of workers. Another one, Dan Murphy's part of the Woolworths Group with a market capitalisation of $34 billion. Labor looked after them, Deputy Speaker. On a Sunday, their workers get paid $30, Deputy Speaker. In comparison, a small liquor merchant, small business has to pay $37. Another dodgy deal, looking after their mates in the big end of town. And why do they do this, Deputy Speaker? Why do they do this?
The member for Reid will leave under 94A.
Deputy, because they want to line up the workers, Deputy. They know it's easier for the big end of town to line up the workers so they can Shanghai them into the trade union and then so they can get a lifeline into their pay packets. To suck away part of their pay as union dues, which then feeds the Labor Party machine. It is the coalition here that looks after the small business community. And when it comes to looking after the workers, Deputy Speaker, one of the biggest expense for workers in this country is their electricity prices. And every part of the Labor Party policy is to drive up the cost of electricity prices for the average worker in this country. You lot are a disgrace. You should drop this class warfare act that you're going on because it's totally against the interests of our country. It's against the interests of our nation, and it's about time you lot woke up to yourself.